A very good evening to you all. You're joining us on Prime TV News. I'm Dilani Jaitilaka. Let's have a look at the headlines first. An accomplice of Saharan has been apprehended with a haul of passports. Sri Lanka gets many benefits from China. No police curfew today. World Tourism Organization calls on the global community to offer support to Sri Lanka through tourism. Donald Trump declares national emergency over IT threats. Now for news in detail. Another person who had maintained links with the extremist terrorist group has been taken into custody. This was revealed by police media spokesman SP Ruwan Gunasekara. He made this disclosure addressing the defence media conference. The police media spokesman said that a suspect who had maintained links with the extremist terrorist group has been arrested. The suspect, identified as Mohammed Rizwan, was arrested yesterday by the Western Province Intelligence Division based on information received. The suspect is a resident of Mabola, Wattala. Several passports found in his possession have also been taken into custody. SP Ruwan Gunasekara further said that intelligence sleuths have been deployed to gather information on those who are engaged in violent incidents and individuals who are leading such incidents. It was announced that no curfew has been imposed in any part of the island today. Investigations are being carried out to the incidents that took place in the northwestern province and in the Minuangoda area. Even intelligence sleuths have been deployed to investigate into these incidents. If there are any suspects that the police are looking for, they can surrender to the police of the judiciary. The armed force and the police have deployed the highest number of officials to maintain security. SP Ruwan Gunasekara elaborated to the media on the security program that has been planned on behalf of the Vesak Full Moon Poya Day. The police spokesman said that they have taken necessary action to accord maximum security during the Vesak days. Police officers have been deployed to provide security to those who are exiting Colombo and also to handle the movement of traffic. Expressing his views to the media conference, Air Force Commander Air Marshal Kapila Jampati said that the Air Force was providing maximum security to air power. Security has been provided without maintaining any loophole. Security has been consolidated at the Bandar Naik International Airport. Obstructions to passengers have been minimized. President Maithripala Sirisena returned to the island today after engaging in a short visit to China, upgrading cooperation related to national security and development in Sri Lanka and thereby achieving many benefits to the island. Sri Lanka received a donation of 4,100 million rupees from China to improve facilities in the defence sectors. President Maithripala Sirisena, during his visit to China, had a successful official discussion with his Chinese counterpart Xi Jinping. During their meet, the Chinese president underlined that the Chinese government would extend all necessary support to Sri Lanka to wipe out terrorism. During this tour, agreements were signed to provide Chinese assistance to control the use of internet to achieve the aims of the terrorists and improve the strategies of the Sri Lanka defence sectors to support international terrorism. A meeting also took place between the President and Prime Minister Lee Ki-hiang. During this meet, special attention was drawn to attracting Chinese tourists to the island. Addressing the Chinese Conference of Asian Civilizations dialogue in Beijing, the President stressed that all countries should cooperate with each other to wipe out international terrorism and religious extremism. More than 2,000 delegates and leaders of 47 countries attended the summit. After this tour, several parliamentarians who joined the president in this visit expressed their views. Minister Dayagamage said that the Chinese government extended its high technology needed at this moment. Also, based on a request made by the president, China agreed to provide 100 jeeps to the Sri Lanka police. Tourist arrivals in the country has at present declined by about 70%, and to overcome this situation, the Chinese Deputy Tourism Minister was invited. He He was optimistic that Chinese tourists will arrive in the country as before. State Minister Ashok Singh said that China had agreed to provide Sri Lanka with the equipment needed to maintain security at the airport. The Chinese president also agreed to further strengthen the bonds between the two countries. The Sri Lankan president had a successful discussion with the Chinese president. The president also met the Chinese prime minister. They discussed the construction of the kidney hospital in Polonnaruwa. The support extended by China can be considered as a significant achievement for Sri Lanka. Southern Province Governor Kirti Tennakone mentioned that China is a state that has successfully achieved victory in racism and terrorism. Southern Province Governor Kirti Tennakone mentioned that China is a state that has successfully achieved victory over racism and terrorism. They took action to provide Sri Lanka the methodology they had applied for this purpose. Sri Lanka will receive the software needed to suppress the statements related to hate, racism and spread of rumors. As per discussions held earlier, China will be providing a naval trawler to prevent the smuggling of drugs into the country. Northern Province Governor Suren Raghavan said that as two states in the world, agreement was reached to defeat terrorism and extremism and to jointly work out programs and exchange experiences in this respect. The National Vesak Festival will be held at the Telvatta Purana Ratpat Rajamaha Vihara in Hikkaduwa. Arrangements have been made to conduct religious programs in every viharas and temples throughout the island. The State Vesak Festival will be held tomorrow and the day after at the Telvatta Purana Ratpat Rajamaha Vihara. The Vesak Festival will begin tomorrow under the patronage of President Maithripala Sirisena. The Vesak Festival is slated to begin after the unveiling of the memorial plaque opposite the Vihara. This Vihara is due to be declared as a sacred area and thereafter the President is scheduled to hand over its deed to the Mahasangha. Financial grants are also scheduled to be presented for the development of several selected viharas in the areas and also to develop Dhamma schools, overcoming shortcomings in these schools. A commemorative stamp is scheduled to be issued marking the State Vesak Festival. The Telvatta Ratpat Rajamaha Vihara, where the National Vesak Festival will be held, has been developed as a sacred area. A special discussion was held yesterday under the patronage of Galle District Secretary Somaratna Vidhana Patirana on the holding of the Vesak Festival. A special security program jointly organized by the police in collaboration with the armed forces will be in place. Chief incumbent of the Telvatta Ratpat Rajamaha Vihara, the Venerable Pituvala Buddhasiri Thera said that development activities at the Vihara are being successfully carried out. He mentioned that the State Vesak Festival will be conducted in their historic Rajamaha Vihara. The National Vesak Festival is being sponsored by the state. He said he is thankful to the government in this respect. Galle District Secretary Somaratna Vidhana Patirana mentioned that all arrangements had been finalized for the holding of the Vesak Festival. All activities in declaring the Vihara a sacred area are in place. He said that the necessary security is being accorded by the armed forces and invited the public to visit the Vihara for the commemoration of the Vesak full moon Poya Day. Necessary arrangements have been finalized for the conduct of various pincomers in every part of the island parallel to the National Vesak Festival. Special attention has been drawn to commemorating the third blessed day, giving pride of place to religious observances. Also, the people are seen displaying their keen interest in Vesak decorations. Vesak lanterns and other Vesak decorations are seen to be sold on either side of many roads. In addition, Vesak greeting cards are also sold. It is also seen how the young and the old are displaying a keen interest in buying Vesak cards. Also, it is witnessed how Vesak decorations are seen on roads in many parts of the country. President Maithripala Sirisena has said that by today the country is not facing any terrorist threat, and what has surfaced now is an attempt made by some opportunists to achieve their narrow political ends. The President made this reference at a meeting held at the Kalutara District Secretariat. A discussion was held recently with the political authorities, state officials and the security chiefs. It was the 12th in the series of discussions organized at the district level under the aegis of the President. Addressing this meeting, President Maithripala Sirisena opined that no room can be left for some who are making misleading statements without knowing the real information, misusing the freedom that has already consolidated within the country. The United Nations World Tourism Organization has called on the global community to offer support to Sri Lanka through tourism at this critical time. He made this reference in a video message posted in Sri Lanka Tourism Development Authority official Facebook page.
As Secretary General of the World Tourism Organization of the United Nations, I have had the privilege of seeing Sri Lanka emerge as one of the world's great tourism success stories. The country offers a warm welcome to visitors from all over the world, regardless of nationality or creed. In return, tourism has provided many Sri Lankans with secure jobs, helping world communities' growth and development. Tourism has also been a major factor in the past decade of national reconciliation and contributed to the bringing the people of Sri Lanka closer together. Sri Lanka's tourism sector is a beacon of hope and unity. That's why those who seek to divide us target hotels and other places where people come together. I offer my sincere condolences to those affected by the recent attacks, especially the families of the many victims. I also call on the global community to offer its unwavering support to Sri Lanka at its critical moment. The country's hotels, beaches and sites of interest are open as usual and ready to welcome you. By continuing to offer support through tourism, we can help Sri Lanka recover and continue on its path towards peace and prosperity.
Minister of Power, Energy and Enterprise Development Ravi Karunanayake has said that the country should be carried forward under one country, one nation and one law. The minister expressed this view when he visited a private hospital in Colombo to inquire into the health condition of the Mahanayaka of the Amarapura Mahasangha Sabha, the most venerable Katugoda Dhammawasa Thera. The minister said that some seem to be certain persons remaking provocative statements at a time when peace was needed in the country. He said they are ashamed of CCTV footage that indicates as to how certain politicians were provoking the people. It is a myth if Muslims and Tamils are happy. He said that also if Muslims hinder the Tamils and if the Sinhala Buddhists achieve satisfaction, peace will not reign in the country. Parliamentarian Tushara Indunil has said that opposition groups should assume the responsibility of the tense situation that prevailed in the past few days. Expressing views to the media, he said that opposition groups were levelling charges against him and some members of his party with respect to these incidents to cover up their mistakes. He also spoke on accusations made against parliamentarian Hector Apuhami.
MP
Tushara Indunil said that there is a political hand in the incidents that happened 3 weeks after the attack. He told Vimal Weerawansa not to engage in low-grade acts. CCTV footage clearly displays as to who were behind these incidents. He mentioned that Vimal Weerawansa, Udaya Gammanpila and Mahinda Rajapaksha want to put normal civilian life into jeopardy. MP Hector Apuhami also blamed the opposition for the incidents that had happened in the past. He said that the entire country is aware of who Vimal Weerawansa is. He called on them not to sling mud at others' characters. He said he and Tushara were at Rupwahini engaged in a recording when the incidents happened and that the recording continued till late midnight. He said that the people of the country should know exactly as to who Vimal Weerawansa is. He called on them not to be engaged in bankrupt acts.
හරියට හඳුනා ගන්නවා. ඔය වගේ බංකොලොත් මහ පහත් නීච වැඩ කරන්න එපා කියලා මේ අවස්ථාවේදී ප්‍රකාශයක් ඇටියට කරනවා.
The new sugarcane crushing season at the Hingurana sugar factory has commenced. The crushing season began under the patronage of Director of the Galway Plantations Company and Ampara District Secretary DML Bandaranayaka. It was the 8th sugarcane crushing season of the Hingurana sugar factory maintained by the Galway Plantation Company that commenced in this manner. Sugarcane was dumped into the crushing by Ampara District Secretary DML Bandaranayaka, Chief Executive Officer of the Galway Plantations Company and the Chief Operations Officer Surat Pereira. It was mentioned at this event that the Galway Plantations Company is ready to crush 280,000 tons of sugarcane. The police have apprehended a Palestinian national who had been staying in the country without a visa. The police said that the suspect, who had been living in a house in the Tennekumbura area in Kandy without a visa, violating immigration and immigration laws, was taken into custody. The police have launched a comprehensive investigation as to how this 45-year-old suspect had been staying in the country without a visa. The suspect was produced before the Kandy Additional Magistrate Uresa de Silva, who remanded him until the 24th of this month. 10 railway container carriers have been imported after a lapse of 30 years, marking a significant occasion in the country's railway history. The containers arrived at the Bandaranaike terminal at the Colombo harbour. The Sri Lanka Railways Department possesses 25 such railway container carriers. The Transport and Civil Aviation Authority has made arrangements to import 20 container carriers under an Indian line of credit with the aim of increasing this number. The value of each container brought under the first stage of this program is 15 million rupees. In the meantime, 5 fuel transport containers have also been imported. Received under an Indian loan, these containers also reached the island this morning. 3 houses have been completely destroyed by a fire that had erupted in the Duavatta area at Marbola in Vattala. The fire had erupted last night. No one was injured in this fire. Our correspondent said that around 20 goats had died in this incident. The fire brigade and the residents joined together and succeeded in extinguishing the fire. It is believed that the fire may have erupted due to a short circuit. The Vattala police are pursuing further investigations. Now let's have a look at today's exchange rates. That's all we have for you today. Prime News returns tomorrow. And in the meantime, make www.itnnews.lk your go-to source for the very latest in news at home and overseas. Have a pleasant week. Good night.